So a $1 billion school fund created when Minnesota became a state could soon send millions more to classrooms across the state.
Thing is, before that can happen, you, the voters, will have the final say, and that's coming up this November. Barrett Leone joins us to explain. Barrett, what exactly is on the ballot here?
Well, this all centers around Minnesota's permanent school fund, and this is a trust that was set up to support public education since the state's statehood. And last session, lawmakers approved putting a constitutional amendment of that fund on the ballot this November. And now voters are deciding whether or not Minnesota students will have access to more of that funding. Now, the fund itself is worth $2.3 billion in financial assets. Even more than that, more than $12 billion when school trust lands and natural resources are included there. And right now, the Minnesota Constitution only allows schools to receive the fund's interest and dividend earnings. Supporters say that's kept distributions mostly flat, even as the fund has nearly quadrupled in value over the last 15 years. If voters approve the amendment in November, annual distributions would increase from roughly 2.5% to about 4.5% of the fund's value, and that would increase funding to school districts by about 40%, with districts free to spend the money however they choose.
The great thing about this fund is the school districts do not have any requirements to spend that money in any particular way. They can, it has no strings attached to it.
Now, supporters say this is a proposal that would provide more money to schools without impacting or raising taxes, and opponents worry that this could dip into the fund for future generations. Now, if voters approve this amendment come November, the funds would increase the next school year, so the 2027-2028 school year.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're talking about this now, Barrett. It still is a long way off, but you don't want to get into the ballot box and not know what you're voting on there.
Good point.
All right, thank you. New this morning, a man is in the hospital. This is after he shot himself and then fired at police officers. This prompted a shelter in place in Owatonna.
Police say they responded to a report of a person in crisis who had left in a car just after 8 last night. When they found the car, officers say a 36-year-old man became uncooperative, reached for a gun, and started shooting at them. Police say the man then drove off, eventually stopped on West McKinley Street. Several agencies, including SWAT teams, surrounded the area. Police issued a shelter-in-place order at 10:15 last night, and then just before 12:30 in the morning, the man shot himself. Officers then took him into custody. They brought him to the hospital for treatment. That shelter-in-place order has since been lifted. No officers were hurt. The scene remains under investigation. The state's capital city, St. Paul, dealing with a huge deficit of several $1 million.
Let's take you over to the live desk where Maria Nissignoli is talking about major money problems over there. Maria, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, that's right. Mayor Kali Herr says it's the biggest budget deficit in city history. We're talking about $26 million, and the mayor wants the public to weigh in. Mayor Herr, who's in her first term, says she inherited a historic budget deficit with systemic issues and rising costs adding pressure. She says all cuts are on the table and city services could be impacted. Residents say they're worrying about rising property taxes.
The increases have been substantial over the last number of years.
We're losing that tax base, and property taxes can really only go so far in trying to fill that gap.
How do we build a city that puts us in a place in which we can deliver services in a way that really honors people's tax dollars and to plan that for into the future?
The mayor says they are tracking ideas and responses from residents as they create the budget. City leaders are also looking at a variety of solutions to bring in more revenue. Mayor Herr is expected to present a budget proposal later this summer. Now, one of the ideas the mayor has floated is a pilot program, which stands for Payment in Lieu of Taxes. It would create a system for universities and certain nonprofits who aren't paying right now to chip in. As for city services possibly impacted, it's really still too soon to tell.
A long conversation.
Yeah, a lot of big decisions over there.
A lot of big decisions. Maria, thank you.
And we don't get no justice! They don't get no peace! And we don't get no justice! They don't get no peace!
Dozens protested outside a federal courthouse where more than a dozen anti-ICE protesters entered their plea yesterday. 14 of the 15 people facing federal charges appeared in court, all of them telling the judge they are not guilty.
I'm grateful for our defense team, and I have faith in our attorneys and in my friends.
He's one of several people who are part of the group of supporters they're calling the Minnesota 15. Court documents say the group conspired to violently oppose immigration law enforcement. The 94-page federal indictment accuses the 15 people of using messaging apps to coordinate blockades at the Whipple Federal Building. Prosecutors declined to say if any ICE agents were hurt, but the U.S. attorney described it as a violent plot. In less than 90 days, the U.S. attorney will need to turn over evidence to the judge.
The Minnesota office in charge of reviewing questionable convictions is shutting down, and that's because of a lack of funding. Attorney General Keith Ellison says that the conviction review unit is being suspended because the Trump administration's refusal to renew federal grant funding. So this unit used federal money to review applications from people in prison who say they were wrongly convicted. Ellison says they reviewed more than 1,000 requests since 2020. 3 of those led to people being released from prison. The AG says that his office will resume the work if they can get the funding again.
It's 6:08 on this Thursday. President Trump is praising the new temporary Air Force One jet he received as a gift from the government of Qatar.
CBS News' Jared Hill tells us about the president's first official flight on this new luxury plane. Went to North Dakota to honor a past Republican president.
For the first time, President Trump took his new temporary Air Force One for a spin. The luxury Boeing 747, a gift from Qatar that cost American taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars to retrofit.
Well, it costs very little relative to what it would cost if we did it a different way.
The plane, serving as a bridge with 2 new jets years behind schedule, flew Trump to North Dakota, where the president rode on the Freedom 250 train and dedicated the new Teddy Roosevelt Presidential Library.
We come to the heartland of America to pay tribute to a man who embodied the heart and soul and fight and spirit of our country as much as anyone who ever lived.
President Trump also spent the day fending off new questions over his latest financial disclosures, showing he made $2.2 billion last year.
You know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up.
But documents show he made $1.4 billion from crypto ventures as investors lost big, with Trump meme coins and tokens launched ahead of the 2024 election plunging in value. This, plus foreign investments, prompted criticism from some congressional Democrats.
While costs are going up for you, Donald Trump is cashing in.
While the Trump administration has supported easing crypto regulation, a White House spokesperson said there were no conflicts of interest.
I have many people, I don't know what they call it, closed accounts or something. You put your money in, and that's it. I don't talk to them.
On Iran, President Trump and international mediators are touting progress as negotiations continue in Doha. Jared Hill, CBS News.
So Pakistani and Qatari mediators also said that the 2 parties have agreed to continue discussions. Another meeting is expected after Iran concludes funeral ceremonies. This is therefore their former supreme leader.